It says John chapter 7 and verse 38. He that believeth on me, as the scripture had said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and give double honors to the apostles of great mercy and do rule well. Salutation to the men of the hopeful and sincere elect. This is your brother Makazar from the Trinidad camp. Just want to do a little edification for the elect's sake. And the name of this lesson would be, they are trying hard to keep the truth back. They are trying hard to keep the truth back. All right? Because, we've seen from years since, the Lord Yahweh Shemel beginning with the Elder Abba Bivens, bringing out this truth that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true Hebrew Israelites, the people of the book, all right, the true people of the Most High, all right. These elites, the powers to be, they're trying hard to keep the truth back. They've been doing it from years now. All right, as the scripture says in Proverbs, I believe it's Proverbs 28 or Proverbs 29, it says, when the wicked rule, a man is hid. All right, so they taking our heritage. They calling themselves Israel. They calling themselves so-called Jews, when they are not. They are not the people of the Most High, but are the synagogues of Satan. There are books like, the 13 tribes. I even watched a documentary years ago with a guy that he himself, he was, a so-called Jew. And he brought out a documentary that was saying that him and his people are not the true people of the Most High, but are the synagogues of Satan. And he brought out information. And I believe it was a month or 4 months later, they found him dead. All right? So they know they're not the chosen people of the Most High. They know in the Judea Biblica, all right, encyclopedia, what it says that modern Edom is modern day Jewry. Edom is modern day Jewry. So they know they're not the people, but they want to push that lie, that charade out there that they are the chosen people when they know they're not. All right, but the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he coming to wash away all that lies from the earth. That is why it says, he that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. One thing you can't do with living water is contain it. You might hinder it for a while, all right? Just like a dam, you could dam a river, but guess what? As long as that river continuously flowing, it's gonna overflow that dam. You can't contain this truth. All right, this truth is uncontainable because it is the spirit. That is why in Acts chapter 5 it says, if it's the work of the Most High, you can't prevent this. Basically, you find yourself to fight against the Lord. And in Isaiah it says, want him that striveth against his maker. So you striving against the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai by coming against this truth. All right, you taking our videos, you hindering the broadcasts, or live streams. All right, you push propaganda out there to try to demonize the men of the Lord. All right, and guess what? It will work for some people, because Isaiah chapter 6 it says, cause their ears to be heavy, their hearts to be fat, and blind their eyes. So that would work on 2/3 of our people, the ones that the Lord don't want to come to this truth. But for the elect, that's not gonna work. That's why the scripture said, if it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. So the elect will receive this truth one way or another. All right? They're trying hard. All right? We see they're doing it with the newest case with Kyrie Irving. They did it with Kanye West. Hey, they even did it with Nick Cannon, where, he speak about the Negroes, Latinos, and Natives being the true Israelites, and they demonize him. All right? And they will continue doing that because they own the media, so they could push that, that propaganda out there. All right, to fit their narrative, to demonize the ones that turn from darkness unto light. But guess what? As the scriptures just said, he that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. All right, this is Luke chapter 19 and verse 37. It says, and when he was come nigh, even to the descent of the Mount of Olives, the whole multitude and the disciples began to rejoice and praised Yahweh with a loud voice for all the mighty works that they had seen, saying, Blessed be the King that cometh in the name of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, peace in heaven and glory in the highest. And some of the Pharisees among the multitude said unto him, Master, rebuke thy disciples. And he said unto them, I tell you that if these should hold their peace, the stones would immediately cry out. All right? So Yahweh Shai basically saying it now. Hey, if you could stop Kyrie Irving, if you could stop Nick Cannon, if you could stop, Kanye West or any other celebrity that, that the Lord will put his spirit on to come out and speak openly about the truth. All right? If you could silence them, guess what? Stones will cry out. And guess what? We are the stones. The stones are the prophets. All right? We are the prophets. Because we ain't gonna stop. And even if you might silence some of us because some of us took that purse, all right, guess what? The Lord just gonna raise up more, just like he told Elijah. Even if you might be able to kill some of us, guess what? It's not gonna stop because we don't die, we just multiply. All right? We just multiply. The Lord Yahweh Shemiah Shai have his men that gonna come out there and just keep prophesying and bringing this truth out unto the day of Yahweh Shai. This truth ain't gonna stop. This truth cannot and will not stop. All right? It cannot and will not stop. All right? This is 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 27. It says, for evil shall be put out and deceit shall be quenched. So yeah, evil gonna be put out. All right? All right, evil gonna be put out because the Lord Yahweh Shemiah Shai gonna make all things new. All right? You saw they tried to hinder the word by killing Stephen, by beheading John the Baptist. All right? You saw that they tried to hinder the truth by slaying the apostles and even the ancient prophets. And the greatest of all, they slayed Yahweh Shai for this truth because they didn't want this truth to come out. But guess what? That was over 2,000 years ago. And here we are again. It cannot stop. You cannot stop this fountain of living water. It will continuously flow until the coming of the Lord Yahweh Shemiah Shai, which we are near unto that time. The Lord Yahweh Shemiah Shai gonna make his grand appearing, and we are his heralds. We herald in the coming of the Lord. All right? And there's nothing you can do, you Edomites, you elites, to stop this word from coming out. You stop the internet, guess what? There are so much of us around the world that we could just go out in the streets and prophesy because the word already went to the four corners. It's just, guess what? The Lord could just snap his fingers and wake up the elect. You think you could hinder the Lord's work? The scripture says there's none that can hinder when he's about to save. Roughly paraphrasing. All right? There's none that could hinder. All right? You think that you could hinder the word of the Lord, but you can't. All right? Here's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, and verse 10. It said, this is wicked. It said, let us oppress the poor righteous man, and let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. It says, let our strength be the law of justice. And this is what they do. They use the law, their laws, to come against us. It says, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. It says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. It says, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law of the Most High, and objected to our infamy and the transgressing of our education. He professed to have the knowledge of Yahweh, which we do. All right? And he called himself the child of Yahweh. The new scripture said in Hosea 1 and 10, in the language it is said unto you that ye are not the children of the Most High. There shall be said unto you that ye are the chosen ones, that you are the children of the Lord. And it's being said right now. That is why we professing ourselves to have the knowledge of the Lord. It says, he was made to reprove our thoughts. We are. It says, he is grievous unto us, even to behold. That is why they demonizing us. That's why they want us to apologize, but we're not. We unapologetic. All right? It says, for our life is not like other men's. It says, for his life is not like other men's, and his ways are of another fashion, which we keep in some of the Lord Yahweh Shemiah Shai. says, we are esteemed as counterfeits, which you are not the true people of the Most High. He abstained from our ways as filthiness. He pronounced it the end of the just to be blessed, which we're going to inherit the kingdom of heaven, and make it his boast that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is his father. The scripture says, for thou art our God. Israel is my son, even my firstborn. It says, let us see if his words be true, which is true. You're going to see soon. The scripture say, thy hand is lifted up, and they do not see, but they shall see, and be offended at the, the envy of the people. And prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of Yahweh, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. All right? Which the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he going to deliver us. Some of us going to die for this truth. We're going to be persecuted. We're going to be ridiculed. Yahweh Shai and the other apostles, they went through this. The ancient prophets, they went through this. So how much more us? All right? So when you catch in hell for the Son of Man's sake, Yahweh Shai's sake, all right? Don't be turned away. Rejoice. All right? Rejoice. Because these things been prophesied to come. All right? The 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8, it says, and then that wicked shall be revealed, the Lord revealing him now. You so-called Edomites, the so-called white people, you Edomites according to the Bible, whom Yahweh Shai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which everybody that bringing out this truth right now, prophesying against him, bringing them down with the power of the Lord's, the spirit of the Lord's mouth, and shall destroy him with the brightness of his coming. So the Lord gonna destroy you Edomites and send you in captivity. All right, you can't escape it. You might own the media, you might send whatever narrative you want out there in the world, but guess what? You can't hinder this. You cannot hinder the work of the Lord. You cannot frustrate the works of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It will happen. The scripture said, lo, it will come. All right. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of great Minnesota that do well. Salutations to the men of the Hope Land Saints elect. This is your brother Makazar from the Trinidad camp. Just want to say salutations and stay strong. Shalom.